Adam Brancher, I'm the Managing Director, Principal Marine Surveyor at Kedge Marine Surveyors. We're based in 4 states in Australia, and we also work heavily in New Zealand. We deal with foreign flagged domestic commercial vessel and regulated Australian vessels. We are certainly experiencing some changes at the moment, as everybody in the maritime industry is.
Why do you think maritime matters in general, but also particularly during this time of the global pandemic?
Well, I think it's you know, as with aviation, one of those things that connects us. Different maritime sectors impact different people's lives in different ways, from fishermen who go out and catch the protein that we rely on, the foreign flag vessels moving goods all around the globe, and of course the cruise industry. It's probably not in the forefront of most people's minds in times other than these, but it's certainly in the forefront of everybody's mind at the moment. I don't think I've seen so much on the news about shipping as I have done in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, whether it be, you know, cruise ships that are stuck off Western Australia, you know, union members being unhappy with unloading ships in Melbourne, and of course people are now starting to think, well, oh, where are my toilet paper rolls coming from? And of course, a huge number of them are carried by ship. So yeah, like I think maritime's an afterthought most of the time, but I don't think it's an afterthought at the moment. The primary role that our company through is safety. So, we're structural engineers, we're stability engineers, we're safety engineers, and you know, at the end of the day, the guys and girls who drive the ships and engineer the ships are the ones that take them out. But we'd like to think that the surveyors have, I suppose, set the baseline to give the seafarers the best opportunity and chance to go in and come back. So, I mean, we're ISO 9001, 14001, and 45000 accredited, and we've recently been re-audited, and everything sort of gelled. So we'd actually identified the risk of COVID-19 poses to our guys and girls probably in January as it started to emerge and more became evident. I suppose we deal with it in 2 ways. One is we'd actually started to look at our PPE and social distancing even prior to a lot of the yards and vessels that we work on becoming more aware of that. And temperamentally, a lot of surveyors are actually quite used to working independently and at a distance. So the combination of the sort of awareness, the risk mitigation, and then, you know, the temperament of the people. And I suppose the other thing, we were a business, we'd actually had some decent business continuity plans in. We'd stress tested the business before, but we never actually thought of a pandemic. We thought about things like bushfires or you know, major weather events and things like that. But what we have found is that our systems, our remote, you know, we don't do much paperwork, we do most things on tablets and so on and so forth.
If you had just 2 tips for other people during this time, what would be the 2 tips that you would give?
Look, first and foremost, just be kind. I think you got to recognise this. Everybody's under an immense amount of pressure. It's very important. I think it's even more important at this stage that everybody's decent to each other and empathetic. So that's number one. And I think the second one is look further than the next 2 weeks, the next 6 months. You've got to conduct yourself and approach. Not just your job and life, but thinking and knowing that everything ends eventually. And you know, how do you want to look back on this period? You want to look back at it and go, ooh, wow, I was a bit of a turkey, or actually I did the best that I could in the circumstances, and you know, I feel good about myself. Those are probably my 2 tips.